Okay, how many of you are left-handed? Okay, tough crowd. How many of you know someone that's left-handed? Okay, you should all raise your hands because you know me. So. Okay. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with the many types of discrimination, such as like ethnic, gender, sexual orientation, even weight. But what about left-handed discrimination? It's the least talked about form of discrimination and often forgotten. Now, before you dismiss it as unimportant, consider this. According to a 2007 article in the Summit Daily News, over 2,500 left-handers die annually from using right-handed products. So it's a very serious issue, actually. Today I'll be talking to you about, first I'll give you some general information on left-handedness. Then I'll be talking about the history of left-handedness, and finally I'll discuss lefties today. There we have Mr. Flanders, go left. According to the book A Left-Handed History of the World by Ed Rice, 10% of the world's population is left-handed, so roughly 1 in 10 people. Now, you might think, okay, well, it's just a hand, but it's actually more than that. Left-handers have the dominant right side of the brain, which deals with spatial awareness, music, art, creativity, whereas right-handers have the dominant left side of the brain, which deals more with logic and words, language, math, logic, anything like that. Here's another picture to help you visualize it better. You can see the left side of the brain. People in cubicles, you know, they're all logic-oriented, and then the right side more dreamy and artistic. Left-handers have a very strong visual sense and are better able at observing and remembering details. And they're very good at music, drawing, telling jokes. Right-handers, on the other hand, are more logical, reasonable, have better math and verbal skills. They're also better able to deal with abstract subjects. For example, a left-hander, if he sees the problem 2 plus 2, he immediately thinks 2 cubes plus 2 cubes and tries to visualize the 4 cubes, whereas a right-handed person would just have no trouble dealing with it abstractly. Left-handers make great baseball players, architects, artists, musicians, comedians, and detectives. The left side is often associated with clumsiness. For example, having 2 left feet means being clumsy. So left-handers wouldn't make great skilled workers. No one really is sure what causes left-handedness, actually. There's been many studies, but none have been conclusive. A theory is genetics. For example, the Left-Hander's Handbook by James T. DeKay says that if both parents are left-handed, the chances of the offspring being also left-handed is 26%. And if both parents are right-handed, then the chances drop to 2%. So there's some genetic factor there. Also, the Philadelphia Inquirer states that 2/3 of left-handers are men. So there might be something that about the amount of testosterone reaching the brain while the fetus is developing. And also a difficult birth, since 30% of mentally retarded children are left-handed. So I think it's probably a combination of all these factors that cause it, but no one's really sure. Which leads us to history of left-handedness. The word left comes from the Anglo-Saxon word meaning lift, word lift meaning weak or broken. Bad connotation there. In Latin, the word for left is sinistra, sinister. In many languages, the word right is not only a synonym for correctness, but also stands for authority or justice, the right thing to do, the right way to go. It's right or wrong. So, in Christianity, it is the right hand that gives the blessing and makes the sign of the cross. The Bible contains 100 favorable references, right-hand references, and 25 unfavorable left-hand references. And the devil is portrayed as left-handed, and evil spirits lurk over the left shoulder, which is why you throw salt over your left shoulder to ward the evil spirits away. So, pretty bad stuff. The Romans invented the right-handed handshake, still in use, and the alphabet, which goes from left to right. So, those darn Romans. Da Vinci was left-handed and wrote backwards, so he wouldn't smear his writing. His writings can only be deciphered in a mirror, actually. So there's an idea for any lefty out there. In Japan, for some time, a wife being left-handed was grounds for divorce. I wouldn't imagine that going over too well in divorce courts today. My wife's left-handed. I want a divorce. And the term southpaw, some of you might have heard it. It comes from early baseball fields were built so that the home plate faced east, so the sun wouldn't shine when the batter was up in his eyes. And the pitcher therefore faced west. And so if he was left-handed, when he would throw the ball, it would be on the south side, because left hand was on the south side. So there comes the term southpaw. Lefties today, the most famous southpaw, Obama, Mr. Obama, left-handed, good man. And left-handed writing, well, the less said about it, the better. It's very unnatural, writing from left to right. And also here we have a cartoon, the teacher's trying to change Billy there, and it's actually very bad to change someone that's naturally left-handed because it might cause stuttering problems throughout his lifetime if you try to change someone that's naturally left-handed to right-handed. There we have famous right-handed desks, which you're all sitting at right now. Very inconvenient. It's actually very hard to write if your hand starts cramping and it's in the air, and sometimes you fall behind on your notes just trying to get into position. So. And then we have the spiral notebooks, which just add insult to injury. We all had those teachers that make you start on the right side of the page. So. Pencil sharpeners, right-handed. Scissors, right-handed. Computers, right-handed. A camera, all the buttons are on the right side, and the grip's there, so my pictures always come out crooked. Obviously, we don't make great cooks. Potato fingers, can openers, even a frying pan, if you think about it, the pouring lip's on the wrong side. You have to go like this to pour, and you end up spilling half of it on the floor. It should be the other way around. So a power saw, this is actually very dangerous. The left-hander has to cross his arms to use it properly. You have to go like this, which and you'll probably saw a crooked line or chop off a couple of fingers. Then we have those electronic signing machines. You see them at Ralph's, at the bank, and where the cord is always on the right side, and you have to get your way around. And then obviously here, playing cards even. The right-handed person can see that he has a royal flush, while the left-handed person is just standing there and wondering why the heck he's losing, because he can't see it. And also rifles, many rifles, and this is the M1, which if you try to fire it left-handed will scoop your eyeball out. There's the International Left-Handers Day, held annually on August 13th. It's meant to promote awareness of the inconveniences facing left-handers in a right-handed world. And Huniata College offers a scholarship of $1,000 for any left-handed student willing to enroll. So there's an idea. Even if you're right-handed, might as well try, right? And, conclusion. The differences between right-handed persons and left-handed persons is not just which hand they use, it's also which brain to use, and they're inherently different in many ways. And obviously, as you just saw, they've been disadvantaged and put down throughout history. And the discrimination still continues today, and I think if more people are aware of the problems, then maybe we'll have more left-handed products in the future. And, because we're living in a right-handed world, if you think about it. Every object that isn't symmetrical is designed for right-handed use, and some are actually dangerous. And remember, only lefties are in their right minds.